Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to NS9 Live. I'm your host, Anthony Denardo. With me, of course, we have Ty. We have Jim. What is up, fellas?
What's going on?
Another day in paradise, my friends. An off day.
It was.
As I'm frozen.
Did you guys enjoy your off day?
No. We were rolling. The momentum was going. 2 out of 3 from St. Louis. No, we gotta keep it going.
Fair. Okay. How about you, Tyler?
It's not really an off day. We got to do our full-time show here, which is actually going to be one of the most entertaining shows of the year, I feel like. We got Gymalytics back in full force.
Oh, boy. We have a PowerPoint. Fellas, we have a PowerPoint.
I'll say this. Gymalytics does not play any part in this. This was all just straight vibes. You may or may disagree with this list too. So if we're going through this later this show, the top 10 dumbest moments of the Travis Williams, Ben Cherington, Derek Shelton era. If you have disagreements with this, like let us know. It was hard for me to whittle this list down to 10. I've got some honorable mentions that we'll go through too. And it's like we'll go through the honorable mentions and you'll be like, how is this not a top 10 dumbest moment? It's because there's a lot of dumb moments here. So I'm excited. I had a lot of fun. Well, maybe not a lot of fun. It was rough putting this list together.
Jim, are you telling me that vibes are not part and under the umbrella of Gymalytics?
Vibes are not part of Gymalytics is just pure.
I no longer trust Gymalytics. Vibes need to be a major part of them.
The Codylicious Codalytics are all about vibes. Jim's all about the numbers. Yeah. So if you want vibes, Cody's the guy.
This is why dope is the supreme analytic.
Well, ironically enough, nothing vibe-like about the dope metric.
Yeah, dope is measurable.
There are vibes in there.
Sure.
It's under the Codalytics vibes.
But anyways, this is going to be a fun or depressing show, however you want to look at it. I guess our way of having fun through all the depression. This is how we cope, right? I mean, if the post-game shows dub the therapy session, I mean, this is just fitting, right? This week in Pirates baseball, oh my God. like honestly, Travis Williams, I'm sure right now is just his head's buried in sand. Well, it might be it might be that way for a while anyways. Seems it. But for this week, can he just get away?
Yeah, I'd say this. Like, if any of us had the week that Travis Williams had, just like at our regular jobs, we'd probably be like worried for our future employment. Like, it was a terrible week for him. And you'll see, like, there are a couple moments from this week that make this slideshow. So,
I mean, honestly, just to kind of prep it. We'll get more into the show. That stuff's going to come. We're going to talk a little about baseball. But, I mean, the cover of this has the collision. Like, Joey Bart and Andy Rodriguez colliding each other. Thank God Hayes had the heads-up play to get the out. But, the ironic thing about that play, seeing that, if you're the New York Yankees and you see that, you're like, holy hell, that's going to be the worst thing I've seen all baseball season. If you're the LA Dodgers and you see that happen, holy hell, that's going to be the worst thing I've seen in all baseball season. That doesn't even make the top 10 this week for the Pirates. And we're talking about the entire tenure of Cherington, Williams, and Shelton. So, I mean, again, just crazy what's going on with this regime, this era. But like I said, we'll definitely get into that. Let's actually talk a little bit about baseball before we do that. How about that, guys? So,
deal.
Jim said vibes are good. The Pirates took their first series. Right, they beat the St. Louis Cardinals. We had the series preview, Jim. We talked about their offense, the second best in baseball. What are the Pirates going to do? However, the pitching side of the Cardinals is pretty awful, pretty bad. It's not as if the Pirates really capitalized too much on the offensive side here with that, right? But the pitching came through. The Pirates found a way to stifle the big bad Cardinals and take 2 out of 3. Ironically enough, not on Paul Skeens' day.
I think that was what was impressive about this series was, Carmen Mlodzinski, first off, pitched outstanding, I thought, on Monday. just night and day from his first start of the year. And then you felt pretty good going into game 2. You're like, okay, we've got Paul Skeens on the mound. We're going to win this one. This is going to clinch the series for us. And then he has what seems like his most human moment to date in Major League Baseball. Gives up 5 runs, 6 innings. There was definitely some bad luck and some decision making as far as where the defense was aligned. Like we can go into all that, but I mean, 5 runs, like he does. That's not a Paul Skeens type start by any means. And then you saw Mitch Keller bounce back from his rough outing and put together one of the best starts I've seen from him ever. I mean, 8 scoreless innings. He was locating, inducing weak contact. Just an outstanding series from Keller and Majinski. And then you got to give it to the bullpen too, especially in that final game. Those extra inning games, I don't know what it is about these guys, but they've been able to hunker down and put zeros up on the board, and they've kept the team in it.
Yeah, essentially since the subtraction of Bednar and Holderman to this bullpen, they've been a lot better, and hopefully those two can come back and be as effective as they have been before. But the last maybe week or so, it's been based on what we've thought they would win with, and it's starting pitching. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the offense continues to be absolutely abysmal. You would think law of averages are going to somewhat even out here, and they can't be this bad forever. But it's not very encouraging when the bats are still as bad as they were this week and the first week of the year.
100%. 100%. The offense is horrible. It's awful. And I think you're right. It's early. Law of averages are things are going to normalize, right? They're going to come around, but I don't think it's going to be to a case where it's like, oh, it's come around. The offense is good now. We're hoping this offense can at least be average. That's what we were crying and praying for last year. Can we get this offense to at least be an average offense? And that's what we're still hoping for this year. Like, can it just at least be average and have the pitching carry it? And then have maybe a chance still with that, right? So, yeah, the offense is showing exactly why we had all these concerns right now. Back to the pitching side, like Paul Skeens isn't going to win every single start, unfortunately. So it was good. It was good that Mitch Keller, especially the Mitch Keller side, I'll say. Mitch Keller, I mean, this is the opportunity to win a series. Mitch Keller came in and he just flat out shoved and dominated. He shows you every reason why there's still a lot of interest and intrigue and why Mitch Keller is good. Unfortunately, he has those outings like he did last time where it's like the naysayers say, this is what Mitch Keller is. He always blows up. He's still like a mixed bag here and there. And overall, he averages out to being a solid pitcher who gives you innings, right? But he has these moments, and last game was definitely one of them where he just comes out and shines. Cutterless Mitch Keller to the mound. But I do want to go back to Carmen Majinski because I do think that's what set it off. Because you look in here and you pencil in Skeens, that you got to win that game. So can Carmen do his job and can Mitch do his job to try to get 2? And we've had our discussions about Carmen Majinski. You saw the first outing with Carmen Majinski. It did not look good. Looked good for a few innings. Looked good as a reliever, but not as a starter. And I'll tell you what, and we'll talk about the news here with Thomas Harrington also with this, but Carmen Majinski came out and he looked good. And credit to him. It put me a little bit more at ease. I think there was some bad luck in his first start, but I mean, still the wheels came off. This time around, he looked a lot better, a lot longer. And I think that really helped the decision of saying, you know what, Thomas Harrington, we don't need you. These piggyback starts, I don't think we need. Let's get actual real reliever up here. And so today, well, actually technically yesterday after the game, they optioned Thomas Harrington back down, recall Kyle Nicholas. And again, I think that really comes down to how well Carmen Majinski performed his last outing.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with they want Harrington to be a starter too. So they realized that they probably needed an extra arm early on here in the season with the way they wanted to line the guys up. But I mean, overall, the plan wasn't to have Thomas Harrington in the bullpen all along. But so you bring up Kyle Nicholas. I was surprised that Nicholas was the choice. I was thinking it was going to be Stratton. That's probably the route I would have gone. But we've seen Kyle Nicholas have success at the major league level. It's just all a matter of, can the control be there or not? But the stuff is obviously incredible. But yeah, I mean, Carmen Mlodzinski, I still want to see more of this. Like, I mean, by no means do I trust Carmen Mlodzinski as a fifth starter yet. But he certainly showed like what he was capable of in that game on Monday. And I mean, if he gives you that type of start every other time out, I mean, I think you take that. You probably want a little bit more length out of him eventually, and I don't know if he's going to be that guy. Yeah, it was a refreshing bounce back for him, because he did not look like a starter that first time out.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I still don't know if he looks like a starter, guys. I still think he's going to have trouble a third time through a lineup. Cardinals lineup's not very good. I don't know, to go back to DiNardo's point about them maybe avoiding piggyback starts with Mlodzinski. I still think maybe it might be Joey Wentz going forward. And like Jim said, you probably want to see Harrington get starts in AAA. You still see him as a starting pitcher in the future. Development-wise, it's probably best for him to be there right now if you're not going to start him. So I don't know if I'm on board with Mlodzinski as a starter right now. It's the route they're going. We'll see how it shakes out. But to this point, I'm still not even like halfway sold on it.
Well, like I'll say this to what I'm alluding to here is he looked really, 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 really good for a few innings and it fell apart. And I almost feel as if it was kind of the same thing again, maybe they're starting to think the starting role isn't the right one. Maybe we need to get him into the bullpen. And if so, you then, of course, need a starter, and Thomas Harrington stays to be the starter. But because Mlodzinski has looked capable as a reliever, at least for a limited time. So again, like it might not be 5+, maybe he gets you 4 and some 5, right? But he's looking every bit, at least right now, like he can be a capable number 5 starter. He can give you what you need for right now. This experiment as a starter isn't just totally exploding and we got to change direction, So I think right now looking and saying, because again, that first start is like, we're a little worried. Maybe we should hang on to Thomas a little bit. Let's piggyback this so we have some insurance here. And then again, Carmen Mlodzinski came out and pitched really, really well. And it's like, okay, you know what? We're going to continue this, because I do agree what's best for Thomas Harrington is to be a starter and getting starts. So to me, it's a situation for both things. Mlodzinski, you're our starter. Thomas Harrington, go back down, continue to get starts. Because the thing is too, like Thomas Harrington, I don't think plays up as a reliever. So again, like if you're looking at Mlodzinski as we feel comfortable with him being here, you want to get a real reliever up there. So again, that I don't have any gripes by any means. And it's not as if Thomas Harrington was certainly playing his way on this roster either. So to me, I'm okay with the move, but I am shocked. I thought Stratton for sure, because there's nothing that Kyle Nicholas was doing in spring that made you feel comfortable. And there's nothing he's been doing in AAA right now that makes you feel comfortable. There's a lot of talent, but it's not translating currently.
But just to note real quick, I know that Harrington didn't do anything to really put himself onto the roster going forward, but it does make me a little bit more comfortable seeing that 4-inning outing. He looked a lot more like a major league pitcher that time around and more like himself than he did in his first start. So I think that was a little bit encouraging just to see him be able to get major leaguers out using his stuff, and the stuff played up a little bit.
Yeah, I thought he looked good. I mean, I said that he looked better. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't think he looked good in that relief outing, but he looked better than he did in his start. You could tell that he settled in a little bit better. I want to bring up a point with Mlodzinski, and I think we just need to look at this in a way of like, I still don't think this is a long-term solution. Like we need somebody to eat some innings at the beginning of the season, and he's the best guy to do it at this point. Because you look at what they're hoping is going to be there the second half. You're hoping Jared Jones is back. You're hoping Johan Oviedo is back. You're hoping Bubba Chandler's up. So you've got these guys who are going to come in to pitch those innings towards the second half of the year. Right now, you just need somebody to take the ball every fifth day and give you 5 innings for 10, 11, 12 starts or so, tops. You look at Carmen Mlodzinski, he's never thrown more than 103 innings in his entire lifetime. He threw 50 last year. So realistically, you're not looking at Carmen Mlodzinski as a starting pitcher for the entire year anyways. Like you can't just take somebody from 50 innings to 150 innings. just like that overnight. So like you're still looking at some sort of limited role for Mlodzinski going forward. But as of right now, he seems like a perfectly capable guy to take that ball every fifth day and give you some innings. And I think he showed that on Monday. I'll be curious to see just how it continues to go, because the stuff held up throughout the whole outing. I think you did see him starting to get into a little bit of trouble that third time through the lineup. So he's just going to have to be efficient. He's going to have to trust his stuff and hope that, he can get through 18 batters, in 5 innings or so, and piece together a few extra outs to get to where you need to be. But yeah, overall, I thought it was positive signs from Mlodzinski. It definitely was better than the first time out.
100%. And I guess just to kind of go back to Keller, like what a bounce back that was. Again, showing how dominant he can be. He's not just an innings eater. Something to kind of point out too, because we talked about this last year. I think Noah's really the one that like brought it up. We were at winter meetings, but the whole thing about the 6 days last year, getting Keller back to a normal schedule could be advantageous for him. The numbers kind of support it, right? And that's something we talked about a little bit this offseason. Like maybe that helps him out as well. And last start, unfortunately, because they want to save him for his birthday on opening day. Yeah, an extra day of rest. He was awful. I'm not saying that's totally what happened and why, but we thought Keller could also get better this year just because he's going to get back to a normal schedule. That could be helpful for him. So maybe 2 things are working out for him. Maybe the schedule and the lack of cutter is the reason you're going to see him perform better. And he showed, again, like every bit of it. He was dominant. He wasn't just a guy who pitched well enough to get through. That guy was dominant.
Mitch Keller's good. Like, I feel like we undersell him a little bit here, and I think we've already undersold him in this episode. Like, just by calling him somewhat around fine or like an innings eater. No, he's like a good pitcher. He's got a little bit of that Joe Musgrove vibe with him, where he's better than the numbers show, I think. Like when Musgrove was with the Pirates, you knew he was better than that 4.20 ERA guy. Ended up showing it. I think Keller's in that same boat. I really do think not having to eat so many innings when he doesn't have it that day is going to help the end of the year numbers.
Yeah, I agree. There's a reason why they extended him. There's a reason why he's on this team. There's a reason why like he's a player that if you traded him away, he would get you a haul. It's because he's a good pitcher. I think Pirates fans almost get a little spoiled with Paul Skeens, because it's like Paul Skeens is the best pitcher I've ever seen. And then you see Mitch Keller, and there is a pretty significant drop off. Like, let's be real here. Mitch Keller is a good pitcher, but he's not in the same stratosphere as Paul Skeens. Like, Mitch Keller is a top 50 pitcher in Major League Baseball, like without a doubt in my mind, which makes him a solid number 2 starter in the majors. And I think sometimes that maybe just, I think Paul Skeens just like stunts our brain a little bit into thinking that if you're not that, you're bad. And I think Mitch just gets more hate sometimes than he should. He is a good pitcher.
I don't want to say Paul Skeens, because Paul Skeens made 26 starts now for his career in the Pirates. And as we're going to talk about later in this episode about the 10 dumbest things, fans have seen a lot of very, very bad baseball being played, a lot of very, very bad pitchers being played. So I don't know if I can just really say like we're spoiled because of Paul Skeens. That's a lot of recency bias right there. I think a lot of it has to do with, Mitch Keller came on the scene and he was awful. I'll be the first to admit it. He was god awful. You still remember that graphic, the worst pitcher in baseball as you're talking about. And then it clicked and it turned. And unfortunately, he's always had like this drop off for like 2 seasons in a row. The first half, it's like all of us that are like, hey, Mitch Keller's good. We're winning. We told you so. And then by September, it's like the other side is saying, I told you so. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, none of us really knows, because like there's kind of like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde to Mitch Keller. Can he put it together for the entire season to prove all the naysayers? So like I can understand the other side of it. I don't agree with it. There's plenty of numbers to support that as well. So like, again, like I'm not here to say he's a bad pitcher. I don't think he's just a fine pitcher, but at the end of the day, when the numbers kind of show you, he's sitting there like Tyler says, the 4.20 ERA. I never put that together, but like that Joe Musgrove comp is actually really, really good. The difference is they've unlocked a bit with Mitch Keller, where Joe Musgrove, like you saw, like there's so much more to unlock. Like, come on. And the Pirates failed to do it, and San Diego did. I feel like Mitch Keller has unlocked it here. He's just not consistent throughout the entire year. Some of it not to his fault because he has to eat innings sometimes. But I guess that's why I can side with the other side of this to some degree. Even though they're wrong, I understand where they come from.
All right, so we just talked about Paul Skeens being the best pitcher that Jim's ever seen, Mitch Keller being a solid number 2. Let's now talk about the 10 dumbest moments in Pirates baseball in the last 6 years.
Well, that's the only thing that's left. That's what this team is. It's Paul Skeens, Mitch Keller, Andrew McCutchen, and then the 10 dumbest moments in this regime. Do we want to get in there? Is there anything else we want to talk about after this Cardinal series? Just to wrap up.
I'll say this: like it was a big series win. Like they needed something positive to happen. You couldn't start the year with 3 straight series losses. So picking up that win on Wednesday was big, just from a momentum standpoint. Like there's a difference between 4-9 and 5-8. Like 4-9, you're in last place all by yourself. 5-8, you're jumbled in there with the rest of the teams in the division.
You can live with that after 13 games, 5-8.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about Eric Shelton getting fired. Like 5-8 isn't. We're not talking about like an early season firing at this point. Whereas it could have snowballed into that. It was getting close to getting to that point.
I think we're still at that point.
I don't think we're there yet.
And for the other reason, like this reason states for both of them. Like to me, record doesn't matter. For the same reason, when I was so upset about the Miami series and went off about things, it's not because they were 1-3. I don't give a damn about what the record was at that point in time. Even though, like you said, like 4-9 is better than 5-8. That's correct. But ultimately, at this point in time, like that's really meaningless. 4-10, 5-8, whatever. It's really meaningless at this point in time. What bothers me is the play, how they look, how are they prepared, and it's awful. It is awful. So, like, no matter if it's 5 wins right now or 4 wins or whatever it is, this is a losing type of play. You don't win and succeed by being this awful, having these many mental mistakes, these many errors. Like, this isn't a winning formula. That's why the record means nothing if Shelton's on the hot seat for me at this point in time.
See where the record is the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
If they're winning and playing crappy baseball, I don't care.
But they're not winning. They're not winning. They're not. But
they're not. They're not losing to an embarrassing fashion. Yet.
I mean, they almost did. Multiple.
They almost did, but they did.
Okay.
Like 5-8 is still like, at least I'm not ready to start talking about an April firing of the manager at 5-8.
Like they almost just lost the game because the first baseman and catcher collided at the plate.
I'm talking about in the sense of you got to start showing some different type of baseball on that field, because
there's
if
urgency.
You don't, like, we're getting there.
Yeah, there's urgency.
The Tampa Bay series was way better than Miami. Give you that. But then, like, this week was like here we go all over again. We're sending run. I mean, it comes from the coaching staff. Shelton's here and there. The players just all around. It's just a bad brand of baseball.
They won 2 of 3.
I get it.
Matters.
You're both right.
All right.
All I can say after that is that I'm glad we have Jim Analytics and not Donardo Analytics, because he just could not figure out a record.
No, he had a little issue there.
That math was not mathing. 4-10 is better than 5-8, and
Anywho. Yeah. So do we want to get into the meat and potatoes of this? Do we want to talk about the 10 dumbest?
Yeah. So before I preface this,
isn't that what you're doing? Is you're prefacing it?
Yeah, I guess before I preface this, that is a preface, right? That a pre-preface. But to preface this, there's some comments in there like it's not just transactions, It's not moves. It's an all-encompassment, if that's a word, of the entire organization. So top to bottom, the 10 dumbest things that has happened with the Pittsburgh Pirates since the takeover of this regime. I'm not going to lie. There's actually not a whole lot of transactions on here, if any, because I couldn't fit them. Like there was that much stuff. So
again, this is hard.
This was extremely difficult to put together. I put together a list of maybe like 30 things that I could think of. And then I had to whittle it down to 10. And I threw in a couple like honorable mentions that we'll get to. And if you're watching this, and let's say you're not even a Pirates fan, you're watching this and you read and you look at these honorable mentions, you're like, this would be the worst thing that's ever happened in my life. Like that's kind of where we're at with this stuff. But yeah, do we just want to hop right into this?
That's what they're here for. So yeah, let's do that.
All right, here we go. So let's start off with the honorable mentions. All right. These were good. These were pretty good, but like I just couldn't fit them in. Couldn't fit them in the top 10. We're going to start with Nick Gonzalez breaking his ankle on his home run trot for the Pirates' first homer of the year. And what's amazing about this list is it's over a span of like 5+ years now. A lot of these have happened in the last like 2 weeks. It's been a crazy 2 weeks. But
once again, Endy and Joey Bart colliding each other. Probably not the top 10 this season.
Nothing bad happened on that play, actually. Like it was a positive outcome. So like that's nowhere near this list. But yeah, I mean, honorable mention, first homer of the year, break your foot.
Yeah. Some interesting home run trots by the Pirates over this regime.
Oh, this isn't the only home run trot on this list.
You know, I was going to say, we could make a top 10 home run trot list just in this regime, probably.
All right. Next honorable mention. Derek Shelton yelling at Noah last year. That was just incredible. I think it was the third time Rowdy was pitching over a 10 or 11 day span. It was September. You have 2 extra arms in the bullpen. Like you got plenty of guys. And Noah's like, hey, why do we have to sit and watch Rowdy Tellez pitch for the third time this week? And Shelton just goes off.
There's a better question than that.
There we go. I thought at this moment, this is when I thought Shelton like knew he was going to get fired. I thought he was going to get fired.
Yeah. I in that moment right there, I felt like he thought he was going to get fired. You know? Absolutely. Yeah. Like this is it for him.
I already forgot this happened. And it's a meme on my phone.
Wasn't that long ago. All right, what do we got next? Oh, Cabrian Hayes eating sunflower seeds in the middle of a play. This dude, he's rounding third. He's like smiling because he probably just saw Cabrian Hayes shove his face full of sunflower seeds. Hayes is just standing there. Play's happening. Well, he put some seeds in my mouth.
Doesn't even have his glove on in the middle of a play.
Now, he wasn't really part of this play. Like I'm going to defend Hayes a little bit here, but like unbelievable.
No, you're right. Like he wasn't part of it, but still you can't do this. Like this is again like where you have true leadership, this doesn't happen.
This is a very underused meme as well.
That's and like this is something he had to talk about. Like I'm looking at the article from like the next day, and he's like, going forward, I just can't do that in the middle of a play. Moving forward, I gotta be more mindful of that. Like moving forward, I gotta be more mindful. I can't just shove sunflower seeds in my mouth.
It's like Mark Sanchez eating a hot dog on the sideline.
Yes. Yeah, I was gonna say this is the kid you find choking, in a minor league baseball game.
At least they were waiting during
the
that.
whole thing of bubble gum in his mouth.
Yeah. All right, and this next one, I'm actually surprised this didn't make the top 10, but I couldn't fit it. I couldn't fit it in, so it's an honorable mention. Just celebrating winning the draft lottery like you just won the World Series, and then posting about it on social media. Like, look at that picture. Those people are so happy that they were so terrible that they got the first overall pick. Look at just the unbridled enthusiasm and joy in this picture.
This is
gonna
personal
be a great
story of
list.
this too. Like, what makes this even better is person's no longer in the organization, but getting a DM from them saying, "Wait, this happened." What a bunch of losers.
I mean,
yeah.
Now here's the thing, like this got them Paul Skeens. So like that was cool, right?
Yeah,
but like
still
you're coming off a terrible, terrible season. You just put us through just months and months of pain and misery, and this is how you act.
But the sad part about that is they were probably celebrating the fact that they could draft Dylan Cruz.
Oh, well, no. Yeah, right. We're wrong. Right. Just 22. When they celebrated, that was the Henry Davis one.
Was it?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, this wasn't Skeens. They learned from this.
No,
moment.
this was December of 2022. Paul Skeens was drafted in 2023.
Yeah,
this was Skeens. They got Henry Davis first overall, fair and square.
This was a lottery.
The worst team in the league.
That's right. Yeah. You're right. Okay, my bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was the Skeens pick.
Again, they were not even celebrating Skeens because he wasn't really a thought at that point.
Yeah, Skeens at this point wasn't even on the radar.
Yep, this is Dylan Cruz.
He was an Air Force transfer. All right, so that's honorable mentions. None of these made the top 10. Number 10. Promoting poverty on the pregame show. Now, I'll say this, like the DK article that came out a few weeks ago, I thought it was very, very informative. Like, I broke down the revenues it broke down the revenues great. And it gave you a really good insight as far as like what revenues are coming in. The expenses, it got a little bit shaky. There was just numbers lumped together that had a lot of things. But eventually DK comes to the conclusion that the Pirates lost $2 million last year. The math was a little fuzzy on the expenses. No, Ethan has another article that redoes some of the math, and just based off of his article, it's showing an $18 million surplus. So, but I think the worst part about this is like Sportsnet Pittsburgh is owned by the Pittsburgh Pirates. This article comes out. Hey, we lost money last year. We need to make sure that everybody knows about this. We need to make sure everyone knows that we're poor. Like they're promoting their poorness in front of all of their fans. And it was a despicable act, in my opinion.
I mean, it's also owned by the Red Sox. But like in all reality, from my perspective, they promoted incorrect information on their pregame show. Based on everything we've read, it was wrong information from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I'll say this. None of us know if the information's correct or not.
Right.
And I think that's also the message Ethan was trying to say in his. Mm-hmm. He's not here to tell you that was wrong. It's just that the math to get there didn't add up. This is what I do know. And if you take that information and use the correct math, it's the surplus of 18. None of us know if they lost 2 million or made money or whatever. But that's where I'm at also with you, Jim. It's just like no one knows. But there was a report out there they lost 2 million, and the Pirates were like, come on. It's opening day. That comes second. What really needs to be known on opening day, home opener. Sorry, not actual opening day, but home opener.
No, this was opening day in Miami.
Oh, you're right. Jeez, that was. God, that seems so long ago now. The season's already wearing me down.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's what like the message was. Come on. It's just like once again, this like there's just no self-awareness, just point blank, just none. And there's just no, I don't know, respect. Self-respect.
Well, it's just like, I mean, you're trying to get excited for the season, and the first thing you're going to tell us on the pregame show of opening day is like you're basically building an excuse for why you stink, because you're saying, oh guys, we lost money. We're poor. And this is, again, the Pirates own part of Sportsnet Pittsburgh. It's owned by Fenway Sports Group. So the Red Sox own a little bit of it. The Penguins own a little bit of it. The Pirates own a little bit of it. And you can say the Red Sox, but it's Fenway Sports Group. But the Pirates are owners of this TV channel. And they decided to trot this information out before their opening day. Just, it was disgusting.
Like basically,
whether it's true or not, that's irrelevant.
Very true. Also, like, hey, we're under $100 million payroll. It could be way worse because we're losing money. Really?
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, that's what it felt.
Come in and say, well, then why are you so bad at this?
Yeah.
If that is the case, then what are you doing? That just shows how inept you are. Then apparently, because. How are you losing money this low of a payroll? Anywho, yes, exactly. Number 10.
So that's number 10.
Oh, man.
That's 10.
Number 10.
Number 9. Instagrammable moments. This is a great quote. So let me read this. In the first inning, they got their hot dog and beer. In the second inning, they got a hot pretzel and mustard. Fifth inning, they got ice cream. And they never had any problems with the lines or checkout. They made the trip around the ballpark and got their Instagram moments. They caught a foul ball. They got home and they're like, I'm going to go back because that was one hell of a time, even if the team lost.
Can I say something here real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Loser. You're all a bunch of losers.
I mean, is that not why we talk about that?
Yeah, like
even
this
if
is
the
just
team lost.
Yeah, like the whole point of this article that came out of Travis Williams was like, hey, we're gonna stink, but what's more important is that you didn't have to wait in line for that pretzel. That's what's really important, you guys.
Don't want to have Bungate again.
Hey guys, you know what's better than a number 4 starter? Pierogies on a hot dog. Let's go with that instead. Although it was pretty solid.
It was solid. But like, again, that's not what comes first. What comes first isn't, hey, look how poor we are. Hey, look, you can post on Instagram. We gave you that. All Pittsburgh Pirate fans want is a winning product. Give us that. And time and again, they're like, well, let me tell you about this. You think you want a winning ball game, but even if they lose, did you ever think you might have an Instagrammable moment? I don't think you did. Look what I got for you. Come on, man.
That's a time quote.
Someone asking who's this quote from. This is from team president Travis Williams.
Now, not that what he did that year with the stadium was good. Like again, like the stuff that went in the stadium that year, the renovations, like phenomenal job. PNC Park, great ballpark. The experience did get better. That's under his umbrella. But this team has like just the poorest way of messaging and communicating, and it's just god awful. You know, like Travis Williams, he doesn't speak often, and like when he does, he also shouldn't speak then either.
Yeah,
just do this, have someone else be your voice. Where's Bucco Mike? Instead of being the voice of the Pirates, be the voice of Travis Williams. All right.
like
that's what
every time. Yeah.
Travis Williams needs the Travis Williams interpreter.
Well, I feel like this was like one of the first times you heard Travis Williams talk too. Like he like disappeared for like 2 years because of COVID. Like you just never saw him. And then he like makes an appearance and this is the first thing out of his mouth. And you're just like, well, now I know why you don't say anything. this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. They should have probably just kept him on the shelf.
That's a time not to be self-aware. The one time. Yeah, guys, I mean, even if we lose, like we know we're gonna suck. So when we do lose, no, like just why'd you have to even say that?
Well, they made a trip around the ballpark.
Yeah.
Like you threw that in purposely. Come on, man. Get some winners in this organization. All right.
We ready for number 8?
Man.
No.
It should be pretty fresh in everybody's mind. The Surfside wall.
This is 8.
The Surfside ad put up over the Roberto Clemente logo. They put that number 21 that you see on the fence there. That's there because you've got to be 21 or older to drink Surfside. That's why they put that there. But yeah, what another just disaster. Like I think this is mostly just a silly thing, but it just kind of goes back to the whole, why did you put up a temporary Roberto Clemente logo over top ad space that like you knew you were just going to replace it with an ad and then you just weren't going to tell anybody about it and hope that no one noticed it? And then once someone notices it, then you're like, ah, shit, we messed up. Now the ad's gone. They put the logo back up. So now like whatever money you just got from Surfside, you had to return it because you were so inept about this. Like it's just complete ineptitude.
It also just looks bad. But this is totally avoidable. Just put it somewhere else. Like we've been to Bradenton. They have Surfside ads everywhere. It's not hard to just put an ad somewhere else. Also, the fact that the whole business savvy of this team, like they put an ad up in hopes nobody would notice it.
We hope no one notices this ad we put up.
Yeah, I think this does fall more into the silly side of things. Because if it comes down, and it's true, right? Like they couldn't find sponsorships, so they put up the Roberto Clemente logo, which also is like, I mean, like if you're not gonna have anything there, sure, put that up. Like I get the idea of that. And it's like, hey, finally we found someone to pay us money. Go ahead, Surfside. Again, like the grand scheme of things, they honor Roberto Clemente tremendously. They do. They do. Okay, like I hand it to them, right? Credit where credit's due. They do. It's not as if this was the only thing resembling Roberto Clemente. So, like, I get that. It's just, again, to me, it's just one of those things where you had to know, like, okay, we're removing Roberto Clemente on his own wall right now. Is there talk to Surfside? Is there a way we can maneuver this? There's still space there. Like I'm looking, like there's still space there. Maybe you could do something. Maybe you do put it in the wall there differently, or I don't know. Maybe you do something differently because it's there now. Roberto still revered tremendously in Pittsburgh. I mean, you still this maybe now with Paul Skeens, Kutch is he's still there. Talk to Pat McAfee. You can decide if he's still the face of his franchise or not, or has any existence. But like this is still like Roberto. You know what I mean? Like you think the Pirates think Roberto Clemente. So it's one of those moments like, yeah, we should probably do something because you know people are going to say something. And again, it's not so much that this was horrible. It's just the fact that it's like this team and organization just does so many things wrong that everything just gets overblown because it's another opportunity of once again. Yeah, I mean, they deserved it. And maybe they deserve it because this in itself was just so tremendously awful. They deserve it because they just continue to do things like this over and over and over and over and over and over again.
This team really just needs to hire a normal fan to just sit in on these meetings, and someone in the background will be like, that's going to be a bad idea.
I swear to God, I thought about that. Like, they need to have the
just a
Yinzer
normal
table
person
or something.
Yeah.
Just have like 5 people sitting there and be like, hey, it's me, Travis Williams again. I had this idea. Is this going to work? And then have the 5 years be like, what the F are you doing? what the hell is this shit?
You
And
know
then
you're going to
Travis
get
going,
crushed for
oh,
that.
okay. Now I understand.
Yeah.
That's number 8.
As Amanda says, they
That's
need
number
a
8.
no man.
That's number 8. Number 7 is let's head back to the baseball field for number 7. How about that? Remember in the glorious summer of 2022, the Pirates are right in the middle of a blowout loss to the Milwaukee Brewers. And poor Cam View. Poor Cam View, who's just, he finally makes the majors. He's in a relief role, and he's going to do some mop up duty in the 8th inning of this game. And Derek Shelton leaves him in for 56 pitches, like basically makes his arm fall off. Like, he essentially ruined his major league career at this point just by leaving him in as long as he did. 56 pitch outing. He gives up 8 runs to the Brewers. At some point, like, you went to Rowdy 3 times a couple of years later over 11 days, but no, you had to leave Cam View in for 56 pitches until his arm fell off. I mean, obviously he was sent down the next day because, like, what are you gonna? He's now incapable of throwing forever. And then they bring him up later that year, just kind of as like a courtesy, like, hey, sorry, sorry we did this to you. They bring him back up, but poor Cam View, just thrown out to the wolves.
1 inning, 56 pitches. Threw to 13 batters, gave up 7 earned runs with 1 homer, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. It clearly wasn't there, guys. It wasn't there. And you're right. Like, what are you doing? And I mean, at least Shelton had somewhere with all the next day to like apologize and said like he felt bad. But, and again, it's like one of those moments where it's like these things all add up. And it's like, Derek, like, what are you doing sometimes? So, yeah, he pitched a total of 3.2 innings after that game for his major league career.
I really feel like Derek Shelton's been gun shy since this situation. And that's why we see so many position players, and that's why we saw Rowdy throw so often, because he's afraid to do something like this again.
I have an idea. Win. I think it's that time.
That would help.
Yeah, it's time to win. I'll say this. Yeah, like you mentioned, like Derek Shelton understood what he did here, like almost immediately. And like the next day through interviews was like, yeah, I probably didn't do the right thing there. I talked to Cam. Hopefully that never happens again. But goodness gracious, just messed him up.
I mean, Cam View wasn't very good anyhow.
Still a major leaguer.
Wasn't going to be after that.
Yeah, not after that. He wasn't. No.
Well, yeah. He threw 56 pitches. It's not the end of the world if he couldn't do that. It was more like it's not a good thing to do.
Yeah,
56 pitches isn't going to ruin the guy's career.
Well, 8 innings and 1 run certainly doesn't.
Well, that definitely didn't help.
Yeah.
Going back to the point of him not being very good.
Yeah. We got another on-field moment next. This comes from the summer of 2021. If you remember that glorious summer.
Okay, Brian Adams.
Try not to. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
In a 5-3 loss to the Los Angeles Dodgers, then rookie Ke'Bryan Hayes homers to right field And again, another home run trot makes the list. He just completely misses first base. Eventually, the Dodgers realize this. They appeal it, throw it to first, and Ke'Bryan Hayes is rolled out. A 1-3 put out on a line drive homer over the Surfside wall.
Yeah.
So far, today we've talked about 2 home runs. Well, one player got out, and the other one broke his leg.
Yeah.
And this team does not hit home runs very often. So that might have been like 2% of their home runs in like the past 5 years.
And he really wasn't close.
No.
This picture shows that he's not even close. I remember this point in time arguing with people about Hayes being okay, because if he would have stepped on first, the slugging would have been over 400.
Oh, right.
That's true.
And look where we are now.
Look where we are.
Who would have thought for Hayes?
Not me.
That's what's great. Like, Hayes is one of the better players on the team over this time period. And yeah, there was another Hayes moment that I had that didn't make the list. There were actually 2 other moments. Maybe that didn't directly it wasn't directly Ke'Bryan Hayes. It was more Hayes adjacent, in that the last name of the family members were Hayes, but those did not make the list. But yeah, 2 Ke'Bryan Hayes moments. Kind of shocking. All right. Back to the summer of 2022, the glorious summer of 2022. Rodolfo Castro's phone.
This is number 5.
This is number 5. This barely makes the top 5. Rodolfo Castro slides into third base in the 4th inning. His cell phone falls out of his pocket. You're not allowed to have your phone on the field. And he's suspended a game. He's fined an undisclosed amount. But yeah, look at that. No, not even a case on that iPhone. Like, he's just that phone's
man. That's how I roll.
That's gonna get all scratched up.
I feel like I'm going to disagree with the list. The rankings, I think, are going to be incorrect. This has to be top 3.
I'm going to say this. I'm open.
This is where I think
I don't know if I can argue it. I think what this just displays is, once again, how terrible this list is. Because if we were the LA 9, right? This has to be number 1. There can't be anything worse that happened in the Dodgers decade, past 5 decades. Worse than a guy having his cell phone come out of his pocket. And for the Pirates, they're like, well, there's actually 4 more. Stay tuned.
And honestly, I'm looking at the next 4 and I'm standing by this. Like,
all right,
this is
I don't know what it is yet, but I believe it. And the thing is, too, this is only in the Cherington, Williams, Shelton era. If we really wanted to, we could go back even a few more years, and there's probably more you could add to this list in the top 5. There's certainly one thing you can.
Yeah. We didn't go past. This is just simply this regime. So
right.
Yeah.
Like, it's so bad.
Like I said, there's 4 more, and I think they're all worse than this. Like, I know they are. I know they are.
I don't.
Followed
I can't give more commentary on that. So what's number 4?
All right, it's fresh. Bucco bricks found in the dump. Like, guys, this is, again, they were redoing the sidewalk outside the stadium. They got to take out the bricks to do it. People are asking, hey, where's my bricks at? Where are my bricks at? Oh, we got a plan for them. We got a plan for them. Don't say anything. Next thing you know, they're found in a recycling reserve dump outside the city. Like, this is insane. You've got people's love. Like, this is these are almost like gravestones for some people. Like, this is how people remember loved ones. Hey, like my parents used to take me to Pirates games, and they bought one of these bricks, and every time I go there, I check out these bricks. Like, the stories that were on social media and in news articles over this week about these bricks, like these meant real things to people. They paid money for these bricks to be displayed with their names and the names of their loved ones. And the Pirates threw them in a dump and just didn't tell anybody about it. Like, what are we doing? Who thought this was a good idea?
Nobody thinks.
I got to go back to, like, they need to have a couple people in these meetings here. Just put some normal human beings in these things. My word.
Yeah. I said quite a few stuff that night on Twitter. This had me, and I have no personal effect to it. I don't have any bricks. It's just after what happened this week, and again, I was more on the surf side being a little silly, right? But I understood it. Absolutely understood it. And I was not going to correct anyone for feeling the way they felt about it. But when this comes out, come on, guys. Like, once again, this really got me because this organization, their lack of transparency and communication with anything and everything they do is just, it's so flawed. They want to be so tight-nipped about everything. And you know what? We don't hear a whole lot in free agency and the offseason stuff. And you know what? That's not a problem, I guess. They're very tight-lipped. That's why free agency is boring for us, because nothing gets leaked pretty much. And, well, you know what? Okay, that's fine. But not everything needs to be that way. And I'm so tired of anyone finding things out this way. So that way, the only communication the Pirates do have to give is the PR fix. Instead of being forefront, outright there, telling everyone, because I know they said in January when this happened, right? And people want to say this didn't come out of left field. We know, yes, I understand in January, they told people that we're going to remove the bricks. We don't know what we're doing yet, but we have an idea. They left you there. Time's gone by, right? February's gone by, nothing. March has gone by, nothing. Opening day's here, still nothing. People are asking. KDK did a little investigating. They reach out to the Pirates for comment. The Pirates refused to comment. When did they comment? When KDK found these bricks. And now, because the Pirates are there with their asses out, now we have to comment. Why couldn't you just be transparent to begin with and just say, like, hey, you know what? I want you all to know we replaced the bricks. We are still doing something. Here's an idea we have. We're going to have a wall up there. Don't worry. You guys will have this. Everyone's left clueless. The first sign they get of what's happening to these bricks is finding them in a recycling plant. That's awful. And then you're hearing, like you said, Jim, like, I'm seeing this stuff on Twitter now too. And I'm like, man, like, some people, this really affected them. That's a loved one. That's the last thing they had, or that's passed down, or whatever it might be. And every opening day we walk by, we know where our brick is. And the other people want to side to this and say, you know, they've done this 2 other times. This isn't different. They've replaced the bricks 3 times. Oh, this will be the 3rd time, right? Well, you're right. The other 2 times, they replaced them. That's not what happened here. This isn't the same. So stop trying to talk and put up this ownership and this whole group, whatever. This isn't one and the same. They didn't replace them. They removed them. No one knows where they're going to be. No one knows what's happening. The other 2 times, they were being replaced. Cool. It's there. I know where it's going to be. No one knows any idea where this shit's going to be at this point in time. So everything that's happened to them this week, they deserved every bit of it.
Just be transparent.
God,
hey, we don't have a use. We don't have a use of these anymore. We'll give you guys the option to take them back if you can prove they're yours. Like, if you want a memorabilia or something, we're not going to use these anymore. If not, we're throwing them out. People would have taken that a lot better than, oh, they're on the news in a recycling bin.
Yeah, finding out this way is just awful. Like, yeah, like you. I mean, you both said it right on. Like, just communicate. Like, tell your fans what you're doing. They shouldn't have to find out on the news that the bricks that have the names of their loved ones on them are piled away in a dump somewhere.
Right.
Like it didn't have to be this way. The Pirates chose for this to happen, and they didn't think it was going to be a big deal, and it clearly is. It's a big deal for a lot of people.
Whether you think it's a big deal or not, these are your fans. Like, can you for once treat them like your fans instead of those stupid people we have to talk down to? Those damn dumb Pittsburghers, those stupid Yinzers. They don't know shit. Like, stop treating your fans like idiots. You want to talk about this family, Pittsburgh family, then treat them like it. Open your doors, open your lines of communication. Be transparent with your fan base because, damn it, there's a reason why this list is here. And the reason this list is here and you still have fans coming out to you, I don't get. So you should be very thankful that people are still talking and buying tickets and having those Instagrammable moments in your ballpark because your performance has sucked on and off the field. So do better. This better be a learning opportunity. Unfortunately, there's a list of 10 of them right now that haven't been.
What's number 3?
Tucupita Marcano banned for life.
I don't think this is top 5 for me.
No, I mean this has only happened one other time in most people's lifetimes. Like what one other person in the history of everyone's life was banned from baseball, and it was Pete Rose. Tucupita Marcano places 387 different bets on baseball games, totaling more than $150,000. He is banned from baseball, and here's the kicker: he only won 4.3% of those bets. So not only did he do this, but he was like the worst gambler of all time. This is the guy that Ben Cherington like had to have, by the way. Like he tried acquiring him like 4 different times. He finally gets him. He tears his ACL, and then he spends $150,000 betting on baseball. 25 of those games included wagers on Pittsburgh Pirates games while he was on the Pittsburgh Pirates.
There you go.
It's bad, but I don't think this is top 10 for me.
Banned for life?
Yes. I don't, because he was so bad at the sport anyhow. He might as well just bet on himself to be terrible.
But that doesn't even matter if he was or not.
I know.
It happened. And how many organizations did this happen to? Well, the Pirates. And again, like what I think is so funny, I think this adds to it, is because he was just so god awful in doing it.
Like the fact that he only won like 11 of these 387 bets is insane.
He probably bet on himself.
You lost your entire career over being a complete
loser. You're all a bunch of losers.
Like, how do you lose money and lose your job for losing money? Just awful.
This one's not up there for me. But I get it. But that's more of an testament.
I'm gonna more defend this just from like a historical aspect. Like this hasn't happened since 1989. Like we went 33 years with this not happening, and then Tucupita Marcano is the guy it happened to,
and was so bad.
Yeah,
I kind of forgot it happened.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Some of these things are just they just.
And part of it's because he got banned after he was off the team.
Yeah, but the bets were made.
Yeah.
While he was a Pirate. Yep. All right. Number 2. Andrew McCutcheon.
I just posted this like 3 days ago and I already forgot about this.
I mean, come on. Like this doesn't have like the impact that the other things have, but it's just this is like the guy. This is like the guy that you can't do this to on your team. And they spelled Andrew McCutcheon's name wrong at Pirates Fest.
I think the sad part is that name tag already looks so cheap that you probably just could have printed off a new one on a regular piece of paper and folded it up with the correct spelling. And they didn't even have the wherewithal to do that.
Did they even know?
Probably not.
Right? Like,
if they would have known,
did anyone even know?
If they would have known, it wouldn't have been there. If they would have known, they wouldn't have taken the picture and posted it on social media.
Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, right.
This is just like, what are we doing?
First thing everyone sees.
I mean, you're better off just not having a name tag. Like, he doesn't need one. Like, you don't need a name tag in front of Andrew McCutcheon if he's signing autographs.
I think I know who that guy is.
Yeah.
He's
like the one guy you don't. Everyone else you probably do. Maybe Paul Skeens, but like the one guy you don't is McCutcheon.
But like, I want to say, nobody lets John Heyman live down Arson Judge. John Heyman's a writer. He's not part of the organization. Like, he's not a Yankee employee who's making that for Aaron Judge. Right? He won't live that down. And here's the Pirates organization with the guy who just loves Pittsburgh, named his son Steele, lives in the city still, called up the owner to say, get me on this team again. And that's the guy's name he spelled wrong. But I got to give it a Kutch. Like, the next day when he showed up with the name on the back spelled that way, he's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, he took this in stride. It's just like,
oh, yeah.
I just can't believe it happened in the first place.
God, what's one?
All right.
I think
number one. Yeah, I mean, number one, I think most people in the comments have gotten it too. Like, we have watched a lot of bad baseball in our lifetime. I've never in my life seen something as stupid as the Will Craig play. Like, just the dumbest baseball I've ever seen. Ever. Like, nothing comes close to this play. It was so bad. I don't even know what I was watching when I saw it. It was so bad. And then it also was so bad that, like, I kind of feel bad for Will Craig. Like, he literally had to go play baseball in another country because of how bad this play was. But like, this is the worst piece of baseball I've ever seen. Hands down.
You said Cam View's career was ended because of those 56 pitches. Yeah. Will Craig had to literally leave the country. He fled.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen a run down between home plate and first base.
And you know what's funny? So many of the problems on this current roster are because no one's playing a position that they're naturally played at all their lives. Will Craig is a first baseman. Like, how does this happen to him? This isn't like, I don't know, Emmanuel Valdez came to play first base, or like Michael Chavis or Josh Van Meter, right? The player he's not even on touching first base. It's not like some rando had to play first base and didn't really know what they're doing. It was a guy who is a first baseman. He got the guy running to first into a rundown to home. You know what the 29 other teams can say when they look at this play?
We don't do that out here.
But in Pittsburgh, we do that here because that's what happens in this regime.
The other bad part about it is, like, it could have been a really dumb Cubs play too. because Javi's over there like signaling safe while we could just throw the ball to first base and get him out. None of this matters. And they screwed that up too.
Well, then they threw it to first base and they threw it into right field.
Right.
Like the whole play was just awful.
Actually, wasn't that Frazier?
No, I think it was Chavis at this point. I think Chavis was playing second, if my mind is correct here. But just outstanding lack of awareness. Oh, it was Frazier. Okay. Yeah, I guess this would have been 21. So Frazier would have still been there. Yeah, just incredible. There were so many other things that could have made this list too. Like it's mind-boggling how bad things have been these last 5+ years. But I think this tops the list. It doesn't get worse.
No.
It doesn't get worse than this. This was the worst baseball play of all time.
Yeah, it's bad.
Of all time. Fam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's just this regime.
We literally had Josh Van Meter not touching first base, just completely missing it. While playing first base, didn't even get an honorable mention out of that. We had Wilmer Defoe not catch a pop-up on a walk-off, not get honorable mention. Derek Shelton gets an extension after 28 games when he's been awful forever, not get mentioned.
Eric Gonzalez breaking Starling Marte's collarbone, right?
Well,
Polanco breaking.
Other way around, right?
Gonzalez no. Well, actually, yeah, you're right. Gonzalez ran in, but Gonzalez broke his own. That's what it was. And then Polanco breaking. Oh boy.
There was a lot of other stuff too, like the Polanco, like the end of Polanco's career, like that was a mess too. Like the whole waivers, yeah, like that was a disaster. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff here that that could have made this list that didn't. There were only 10 spots.
Not having Pirates Fest because you didn't want to deal with Pirates fan questions.
Yep. I thought about having the whenever John Heyman said that if there was a World Series for COVID-19 preparedness, the Pirates would win. That was up there too.
The coronavirus preparedness,
which, like,
World Series champs.
Shout out for being prepared, but maybe try to win some baseball games too instead of just having.
Derek Holland got ejected from the stands one game.
Derek, yeah, like it's just on.
That's more of a funny one.
And on.
Wasn't say like the hodgepodge of nothingness.
Yeah, that too.
We have a whole nother broadcast just shitting all over you, calling you a hodgepodge of nothingness. Doesn't even break top 20. Easily doesn't break top 20. Maybe not even top 30.
Hodgepodge of nothingness didn't even make my top 30 list.
There you go.
Incredible.
Anywho.
Oh, how about them Buccos? They head on the road to face the Cincinnati Reds. This is going to be an epic matchup. The Cincinnati Reds are last in weighted runs created plus. The Pirates are 29th in weighted runs created plus. The Pirates are last in offensive WAR. The Reds are 29th in offensive WAR. The Reds have the third best pitching staff according to WAR. The Pirates have the fourth best pitching staff according to WAR. These teams might never score. They got 27 innings. Let's see how it goes.
I got 2 post-game shows. I'm not looking forward to this series.
This is the battle for last place. These two teams are tied for 4th in the NL Central. Winner is in the driver's seat for 4th place all by themselves.
The driver's seat for 4th place.
Fellas.
But to kind of dive into it, yeah, both of these teams can't score runs. The Reds too are extremely banged up. Matt McClain's on the IL. Robert Stevenson's on the Tyler Stevenson's on the IL. Sorry, Austin Hayes on the IL. Andrew Abbott is going to be making his first start of the season. He'll be coming off of the IL on Saturday to face Andrew Heaney. Should be some. I mean, Pirates are facing some decent pitchers: Brady Singer, Abbott, and Hunter Green on Sunday. They've always struggled with Green. Falter, Heaney, Majinski going for the Pirates. It's a great American ballpark, so you hope that this is kind of when the bats somehow wake up. But so far, both of these teams have struggled to hit the ball.
Well, I mean, the way I look at it as far as pitching matchups, you had the Pirates bottom three, essentially. Falter, Heaney, Majinski. I'm not saying they're not capable, but it is their bottom three. Hunter Green is their ace. He took a step forward last year, and he looked like he could take a step forward again this year, and he certainly has. He's nasty. Yeah, they won't face Lodolo, so that's good. But Singer's been pretty solid too in his Royals career, coming over looking pretty good for the Reds. I don't know what's going to happen. Like you said, I feel like it's going to be a lot of extra inning games because it's 0-0.
Yeah, I think kind of looking for a Bailey Falter bounce back here. I want to see a good start out of him. Also, I'm going to throw a prediction on the board here. O'Neal Cruz is going to prove to be the better Cruz.
Well,
3 home runs. 3 home runs this series from O'Neal.
I like it. Yeah, I was going to say that. I was going to say that's one thing this matchup presents. The Cruz on Cruz. This is prime time here. So far, O'Neal's having the better season.
O'Neal's having the better year at the plate. Yeah, but I mean that's what you're looking for this series, right? Is Ellie versus O'Neal. They're the two most electric players on the field. Yeah, O'Neal's definitely had the better season up to this point. I think we all are well aware of the talent that Ellie De La Cruz possesses as well. But he's going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting because the other thing too is like with McClain out, with Stevenson out, there's not a lot of punch in this Reds lineup, especially with the Pirates going with Falter and Heaney. You know, like TJ Friedel is like the second guy in this Reds lineup, and you get kind of minimize him a little bit with the lefties on the mound. Outside that, like you feel pretty good about being able to stifle this lineup a bit. And especially since you're turning Ellie around to his right side, which is his weaker hitting side too. So yeah, it's who knows how it's gonna go. These two teams are like very evenly matched. Like going into the year, they were projected to win just about the same amount of games. Their rosters very, very similar. Both teams are beat up right now. A lot of players on the IL heading into this game. So yeah, should be a fun one in Cincinnati. I'll be at all 3 games. So if you're coming,
oh, that's right. No, I don't.
If you're coming,
never mind.
Come say hi.
Never
come
mind.
Say hi. The season starts here. The Rosati curse is not a real thing, you guys. So we're gonna go 3-0. We're going 3-0.
I'm calling out sick tomorrow.
Jim, isn't Cincinnati underwater right now?
The river has already crested. It is receding.
Okay.
So we're good. We're good.
It knew you were coming and trying to keep you out.
Yeah. Should be a fun weekend.
Lots of positivity in the chat right now.
Lots of it. Sorry, Apple TV. You're not getting any viewership in Pittsburgh now. Everyone's tuned out knowing Jim's going. Yeah, I don't want to do the post-game show. It's going to be awful games. But no, and truthfully speaking, big series again, right? If you can call any series right now big. They just come off the Cardinals in division. They won that. They can take this, right? That gets the record a little bit better here. I'll let you guys do the math. But that helps them. And again, that's some confidence building. Now, I hope they play well in order to do that also. Like, I want them to get at least 2 out of 3 and also look like they deserve to play 2 out of 3, because that's what's going to make me feel better about Shelton. Is your team prepared? Is your team ready to play? So far, that's not what I've seen. That's why they've been on that top 10 list a couple times just from this year. So, anywho, this is an opportunity for them for sure. They can take Cincinnati when Cincinnati's out, probably one of the lowest they'll probably be for this season. Take advantage of that.
Yeah,
Jim's gonna be there.
Take 2 of 3. Take 2 out of 3. Like I said, said it on Monday.
Why not?
Take 3. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Why not us? You got to believe.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody.
And you guys need to keep believing.
I love it. Yeah, like just stack good stuff. Like I said, a lot of bad stuff has happened so far this year. You're finally coming off something positive. You took 2 out of 3 at home. Win another series. Go out there and win another series.
Let's do it. Does that wrap everything up?
It does. Oh, tailgate.
Things to say.
We announced the tailgate this today. So May 24th against the Brewers at PNC Park, starting at noon. The link to RSVP is in the description of the show. So please RSVP. It's not a requirement that you RSVP, but it gives us an idea of like how many people are going to be there. It's going to be catered by Permani Brothers. Food's going to be first come, first serve. We're going to have all the water that you can drink. It's going to be BYOB outside that. But yeah, come out, hang out. Last year's tailgate was just a blast. So yeah, looking forward to seeing everybody out at the tailgate. Super, super excited about that.
Hopefully Jim doesn't faint.
Let's hope I don't faint.
Stay hydrated.
I just want to say, I missed this. Grandal and the Red Sox came to an agreement today. Minor league deal.
Yeah, minor league deal for Grandal.
Good for him. Yeah, tailgate. I'm super excited about that. You know what else we're doing though? We're giving away We're giving away tickets for every home game this year. Spreading it out to all our different socials. So, we did it just a couple days ago on YouTube after a post-game show. So if you're not following us everywhere, right? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. It's Twitter to me. Discord even. Get in our Discord. Over 600 people there. That chat's always hopping. I know it's hopping right now. We have giveaways all the time. We're giving away home tickets to every game this year. Check out our Patreon. Check out the memberships right here. 99 cents. Get all those cool emojis. And that's the way you can win the tickets when you're on YouTube watching us. So other than that, fellas, anything else we want to say?
Let's go Bucks.
Hodgepodge of nothingness, man.
And you guys.
I was clicking it. Just clicking at the same time as you.
Those are my drops. Keep your hands off.
And you guys.
Dear God.
And you guys need to keep believing.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.